So dear students, let's move to the remaining pattern of questions, because if you are familiar with these patterns, you can actually employ a few shortcuts. So though it may appear to be an easy topic, but it's about saving time. So let's see if you can pick a few shortcuts. So the next question is, father is aged 3 times more than his son Rohit. After 8 years, he would be 2.5 times of Ronit's age. So what is being told to us that as of today, father is aged 3 times more than his son. So let's call them father and son. So father F, son be represented by S. So son and father. So as per the data, as of today, father is 3 times the age of his son. So as of today, what is the scenario? Let's suppose the son's age to be equal to X years, then father's age can be said to be equal to 3X, 3 times. After 8 years, that means 8 years later, what is being said? He would be 2.5 times of Ronit's age. So 8 years later, what would be the son's age? Son's age would be X plus 8, 8 years later. That's why plus 8. And father's age similarly would be equal to 3X plus 8, 8 years later. That's why plus 8, 8 years later. So what is being said about 8 years later? That 8 years later, father's age would be 2.5 times. That means father's age, this age, 8 years later would be 2.5 times this age. It means if you multiply this with 2.5, it should be equal to this much, 3X plus 8. Father's age 8 years later. So let's solve this. So 2.5, 2.5x plus 8 into 2.5, 20 is equal to 3x plus 8. So from here, if you solve, if you switch sides of the variables and constants, so 0.5x is equal to 12, which means x is equal to 12 divided by 0.5, that means 12 by half is equal to 24. So as of today, x, we have found out the value of x. So as of today, son is 8 years old, sorry, 24 years old, because x has come out to be equal to 24. So son is 24 years old and father is 3 times, 72 years old as of today. Now 8 years later, son's age would be 24 plus 8, that means 32 years, and father's age would be 72 plus 8, 80 years. Fine. What is the question? Question is, after further how many years? That means we already are here. After further how many years? That means after 8 years have already passed. So how many more years are required so that father's age become double that of his son? So it means when they have already attained ages of 32 and 80 years, after this, so after how many years? So let's suppose after y years. So then son's age would be 32 plus y and father's age would be 80 plus y. So it is being said that after how many years father's age will become double that of his son. So it means let this happen after y years. So plus y plus y. So you can say if father's age will become double that of his son, then we can write the equation that if you double the age of son, then you get the age of father. So let's solve this. 64 plus 2y is equal to 80 plus y. So if you solve from here, you get that y is equal to 16. So 16 more years will be required for this to happen. So 16 more years. So 32 plus 16, 48. 80 plus 16, 96. So you can see 96 is double that of 48. So yes, now son is 24, father is 3 times 72. 8 years later, son would be 32, father would be 80, and 16 years later, son would be 48 and father would be 96. So 16 years later. Let's move to the next one. Father is 4 times the age of his daughter. So there is a daughter and then there is a father. What is being said? Father is 4 times the age of his daughter. So as of today, you can assume their ages to be x and 4 times. So 4x. If after 5 years, that means 5 years later, their age would increase by 5 years. So daughter's age would become x plus 5 and father's age would become 4x plus 5 5 years later. So what is being said about 5 years later? He would be 3 times of daughter's age. So 3 times. So 5 years later, what would hold valid? So 5 years later, father's age, that means this age would be 3 times the daughter's age. So it means 3 times x plus 5 will become equal to 4x plus 5. So if you solve this, 3x plus 15 is equal to 4x plus 5. So from here you can see that x comes out to be equal to 10. So as of now, what is the question? How many times he would be then further after 5 years? So further after 5 years. So 5 more years later, so daughter's age would be x plus 10, father's age would be 4x plus 10. So they want you to calculate that 5 more years later, further 5 years, that means they want you to compare these two ages, this age with this one. So we have found out that x is equal to 10. So basically, we have to compare these two ages. So 4x plus 10, 50 years, and x plus 10, 20 years. So they want to say that 50 is how many times of 20? So 2.5 times. Let's move to next one. There were 15 students in a class. When the ages of a teacher and a new boy are added, the average age of a class increases by 10%, while it remains the same when only the age of the boy is added. If the teacher's age is 8 more than twice the age of the new boy, then find the initial average of a class. Very good question. Now see, initially or originally there were 15 students in a class. So let's suppose that the average age of these 15 students was originally equal to x years. Let's suppose this was the scenario. Then what happened? Then a teacher joined, teacher and a student. Now they are trying to join this group. So if somebody joins the group or somebody leaves the group, the average has to be recalculated to see if is there any change in average. So average has to be recalculated. Now let's read the data carefully. It says when both the teacher and the student join this group, when teacher and a new boy are added, that means both join this group, then the average increases by 10%. Now this is important, while it remains the same when only the age of the boy is added. That means if you add or consider joining of this boy only, if you consider that only this boy joins and not the teacher, the average remains the same. So it means if the average is not disturbed when this student is joining the group, his age must be exactly equal to the average. That's why even if he joins the group, there is no change in average. So you can easily assume that his age is exactly equal to X years. His age is definitely equal to the original average, because it says the average is unchanged, remains the same when only the age of the boy is added. So it is a clear indication that the age of the boy is exactly equal to the average. What else we know? If the teacher's age is 8 more than twice the age of the new boy. So we already have the information that teacher's age is 8 more than twice the age of the student. That means teacher's age, if his age is X years, then teacher's age is 8 more than twice. So 8 more than twice. So 2x plus 8. So this is the scenario. Now coming to this line, when the ages of the teacher and new boy are added, the average age of the class increases by 10%. Now let us consider that both teacher and student join the group. So if both teacher and student join the group, then what happens? See the total age of the new group, that is equal to old group plus teacher plus boy. So what is the sum of ages of old group? 15x, because 15 students each, or the overall average is X. I'm not saying that each student was X years old, but on an average X years. So group of 15, average age X. So total sum 15x. So 15x plus 2x plus 8 plus boy's age X. So this is equal to 18x plus 8. So average age of this group is equal to how much? Now there are 17 persons in this group, because 15 were already there and 2 more persons have joined the group. So 18x plus 8 by 17. This is the new average when both the teacher and student join this group. So this new average, now I am taking this here from here. Let's consider this. As per the given data, the average increases by 10%. So if the average increases by 10%, so we can say that the new average 18x plus 8 by 17, this new average is 10% more. That means 1.1x. Earlier it was x. So if you increase x by 10%, it becomes 1.1x. So let's solve this. Let's see what's the value of x. So if you solve this, 18x plus 8 is equal to how much? So 18.7x. So x comes out to be equal to 8 by 0.7 or 80 by 7. So x is equal to 80 by 7, which is equal to 11.4, almost 3, 11.42 something. So what is the question? Find the initial average of the class. So initial average of the class we have assumed to be equal to x. So initial average of the class came out to be 11.42. So this option is the correct option. Let's move to next one. A person was asked to state his age in years. His reply was, take my age 3 years hence. So let his current age to be equal to x. So what is he trying to say? Take my age 3 years hence. So 3 years hence means in future. So 3 years hence, his age would be x plus 3. So he's saying take my age 3 years hence. So this age, multiply it by 3. So take this age, that means x plus 3, multiply it with 3. So multiply it with 3 and then subtract 3 times my age 3 years ago. Okay, so 3 years ago, what was his age? Today his age is x. So 3 years ago, his age must have been equal to this much. So as per the question, take my age 3 years hence. That means take this age, multiply it by 3. Okay, take this age, multiply it by 3 and then subtract. So subtract, what do we subtract? 3 times my age 3 years ago. So subtract 3 times of this age. So you will get my age. So this person is a very mathematical person. Instead of telling straightforward, he used mathematics to deliver the information. So he says that if you do this, you will get my age. So let's do this. Let's solve this. So 3x plus 9 minus 3x minus 9. So 3x plus 9 minus 3x minus minus plus. So final answer is 18 years. So this mathematical person is 18 years old. Let's move to next one. The ratio of Sarah's age 4 years ago and Vaishali's age after 4 years. So let's suppose this is the current scenario. Current. So this is 4 years ago. 4 years ago. This is 4 years later. So what is being said? The ratio of Sarah's age 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, Sarah's age and Vaishali's age 4 years later. So Vaishali's age 4 years later. So this age of Vaishali and this age of Sarah are in the ratio 1:1. 1:1 means equal. So they are trying to say that there are two people, Sarah and Vaishali. So Sarah's age 4 years ago, 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, whatever was Sarah's age, it is the same age that Vaishali will have 4 years later, after 4 years. So this is the scenario that 4 years ago, if Sarah's age was X, then you can assume Vaishali's age 4 years later to be equal to X. So current scenario, Sarah's age. See, this is 4 years ago. So today, to consider her age today, you will have to add 4 to it, because this is 4-year-old data. What will be Vaishali's age? X minus 4, because this is her age 4 years in future. So if you consider her true age today, it should be equal to X minus 4. Now as per the given information, presently, that means today, currently, their ages are in the ratio 5:3. So their ages are in the ratio 5:3. So it means X plus 4 divided by X minus 4 is equal to 5/3. So let's solve this. 3x plus 12 is equal to 5x minus 20. So 2x comes out to be equal to, if you change the side, so 16. X comes out to be equal to 16. So as of today, Sarah's age is 16 plus 4. That means 20 years. And Vaishali's age is X minus 4. That means 16 minus 4, 12 years. Now what is the question? Find the ratio between Sarah's age 4 years hence. That means 4 years from now. We have to find the ratio of Sarah's age 4 years from now. Today Sarah is 20 years old. So 4 years from now, that means plus 4. So we have to find the ratio of 24 and Vaishali's age 4 years ago. And Vaishali's age 4 years ago. So today she is 12 years old. So 4 years ago she was only 8 years old. So we have to find the ratio of these two numbers. 24 is to Vaishali 8. So 3 is to 1. Let's move to next one. Father's age is 25 years more than the son's age. So current scenario. There is a son. Assume his age to be X. So father's age 25 years more. So X plus 25. 4 years hence. Hence means in future. 4 years later. Son's age would be equal to X plus 4. And father's age would be, you have to add 4 to this. So X plus 25 plus 4. So X plus 29. So what is being said? 4 years later, father's age will become 1 less than thrice the son's age. So 4 years later, if you try to take, so 4 years hence, father's age will become 1 less than thrice the son's age. So 4 years later, we can compare these two. In what terms? Father's age, that means X plus 29, 4 years later is equal to 1 less than thrice the son's age. So thrice the son's age, that means 3 times son's age. So son's age is X plus 4. So thrice the son's age minus 1. So father's age that time will be equal to 3 times son's age that time minus 1. So let's solve this. X plus 29 is equal to 3x minus 11. So 12 minus 1. So this will be actually plus 11. So from here, 2x is equal to 18, x is equal to 9. So x is equal to 9. What is the question? What is father's present age? So father's present age is x plus 25. So 9 plus 25, 34 years old. So father is currently 34 years old. Let's move to next one. Father is 5 years older than mother, and mother's age now is thrice the age of the daughter. The daughter is now 10 years old. So there is a daughter, then there is a mother, and then there is a father. What is being said? Father is 5 years older than the mother, and the mother's age now is thrice the age of the daughter. So if the age of the daughter is X, mother's age is thrice 3x, and father's age is 5 years older than mother. So 3x plus 5. This is the scenario. Now the daughter is now 10. Okay, so daughter is now 10 years old. So we have concrete information that x is equal to 10. Daughter is now 10 years old. So daughter 10, that means mother 3x, 30 years, and father 3x plus 5. So 35 years old. What is the question? What was the father's age when the daughter was born? So daughter is 10 years old today. Father is 35 years old today. That means daughter was born 10 years ago. Daughter was born 10 years ago. What is your age? If your age is 22, it means you were born exactly 22 years ago. So daughter was born 10 years ago. So the question is, what was father's age 10 years ago? Therefore, father's age 10 years ago is equal to his current age minus 10. So 25 years. Let's move to next one. A father said to his son, I was as old as you are at present at the time of your birth. If the father's age is 38 now, the son's age 5 years back was equal to what? So it's a very good question. First give it a try yourself, only then look at the solution. Now if you understand a very, you say crucial point, then you would be able to solve these kind of questions very, very quickly. So let's understand something. If you are X years old today, what does... Now let's understand a very crucial concept which will help you to deal with these questions in a very quick manner. Let's suppose a son is 14 years old. Let's take an example. I'm not talking about this particular question. Let's take an example. Let's understand something before. So let's use a fresh slide for that. So going back in time, what is actually meant by these kind of questions? So let's suppose a son is 14 years old and his father is 40 years old. So if a father says to his son that when you were born, so I am this or that when you were born. So how to deal with this question? If I represent their ages on a number line, this is 0. Son is 14 years old. So this is 14. Son. Father is 40 years old. So what is father telling to his son? In these kind of questions, father tells to his son that if when you were born, so when you were born means what? Today he is 14 years old. So he was born 14 years ago. So he is changing the scenario from current to 14 years ago. So whatever he is trying to convey, that information relates to 14 years ago, not today. When you were born, that means go back in time. Go back in time by how many years? 14 years, exactly the son's age, because he is telling his son when you were born. So everything goes back in time by exactly 14 years. So when you were born. So this is how you are going to deal with these pattern of questions. So now let's move to the question. What is father telling his son? I was as old as you are at present. So let's draw this. Let's understand this on a number line. So this is 0. So let's suppose this is son's age today and this is father's age today on number line. If you try to represent this on number line. So what is father telling his son? I was as old as you are at present. So let's suppose presently son is X years old. So father is telling him that I was also exactly X years old. I was as old as you are at present. So father is telling that I was also X years old when you were born at the time of your birth. So if you go back in time, that means from X, if you shift back to 0, so this is shifting back by X years, shifting back by X years. So father is telling that if we shift back by X years, that then I will become of your age. I will be exactly of your age. So shifting back. So father will also shift back by X years only. So shifting back by X years takes father exactly to this spot. Because he says, I will be also exactly X years old if I go back X years in time. So whatever his age is, if you subtract his current age, so let's call his current age to be equal to F. Father's age to be equal to F. So he's saying, if I go back in time by X years, why X years? when you were born. At the time of birth means minus x. So f minus x will make my age also equal to x. So f is equal to 2x. So f comes out to be equal to 2x. You can consider this, you can visualize this on number line very easily. How? Going back in time. Going back in time by x years. So son reaches from x to 0 and father reaches from this to x. And these both gaps are equal going back in time. So if this gap is x, this gap must also be equal to x. So if son is x years old, father must be 2x years old. So if father's age is, so this way you can visualize. So whenever you get such a question that father is telling to his son when you were born, so you can shift. You can visualize this shift back. So father is telling I am 38 years now. So 2x is equal to 38. So x is equal to 19. Question is the son's age 5 years back. So son's age 5 years back. So today son's age is x, 19. So 5 years back, x minus 5, 19 minus 5. So 14 years. Shifting back. Let's take another example. A says to B, I am twice as old as you were. So two people. So now let's see the easiest way in which you can solve such questions. So A says to B, so two persons A and B, and A is the elder one because he's saying I am twice as old as when you were. So A is more aged than B. So this is B, this is A. Now what is A telling to B? A says to B, I am twice as old as you were when I was as old as you are. So shift back in time. So A says to B that if I become of your age, that means if I go back in time by this much. So if going back in time, so if he goes back in time this much, B will also go back in time exactly that much. So in a changed scenario, A says I will shift from here to here. That means his age will shift from here to here exactly that much. So he's saying I am twice as old. So he's saying that my current age is twice of that age what you would attain if we go back in time. So if you go back in time, that means from here, if you shift back to this much, then whatever age you would become. So currently I am twice that of age. Now this gap is exactly equal to this gap shifting back in time. So you can say that B's current age. So B's current age will be equal to midway of this, midway of x and 2x. So x plus 2x by 2 average. So 1.5x. So this way you can visualize. So what is the data? The sum of their ages. So now A's age is 2x, B's age is 1.5x. So A plus B is equal to 63. So 2x plus 1.5x is equal to 63. 3x is equal to 63. So from here x is equal to 3.5x. So 3.5x is equal to 63. X is equal to 63 by 3.5. So 3.5. If you both are multiples of 7, so 5, 9, so 18. So x comes out to be 18. Find the difference of their ages. So x is equal to 18. It means currently their ages. A's age 2x, 36. B's age 1.5x. So 18 into 1.5, 27 years. So what is the difference of their ages? 9 years. So 36 minus 27, 9. So currently the difference in their ages is 9 years. Let's take another example. A says to B, I am 5 times as old as you were when I was as old as you are. Same story. Two persons A and B. A is the elder one. So this is B's current age, this is A's current age. So A is telling that when I was as old as you are. So he's saying that if I shift back in time this much, that means if you also shift back in time that much, then I am 5 times as old of that age. Shift back. So shifting back B's old age, and this will become A's old age. So he's saying that then if you are X years old, then I can say that today I am 5X years old. So this gap is equal to this gap. Shifting back in time, if you shift back in time, you shift back in time equal by equal years. So you can say that B's age today, B's age will be average of these two. So B's current age will be X plus 5X by 2, that is equal to 3X. So sum of their present ages, A plus B. So A 5X, B 3X. So this is given to be equal to 64. So from here 8X is equal to 64, X is equal to 8. Then the age of A at present. So what is the current age of A? Current age of A is equal to 5X, X is equal to 8. Therefore A's current age is equal to 40 years. Let's take another example. Now let's see this one. The age of a person K years ago was half of what his age would be K years from now. So this question, the age of a person K years ago. So currently, let's suppose this is the current scenario, current. So his age K years ago. So K years ago, that means this age was half of what his age would be K years from now. So K years from now, so in future. So this age is half of this age. So let this be equal to 2X, then half of 2X, X. Now what is this gap equal to? This gap K plus K. So from here to here, this gap is equal to 2K, K and K, 2K. So you can say that 2X minus X is equal to 2K. From here you can easily see that X is equal to 2K. So X is equal to 2K. Also his current age X, 2X, his current age is exactly midway. So his current age is 1.5X. So 1.5X is equal to 3K. Now the age of same person P years from now. So his current age is equal to 3K. So P years from now, that means 3K plus P would be thrice of what his age was P years ago. So P years ago, that means 3K minus P. So this age is 3 times of this age. So 3K plus P is 3 times of 3K minus P. We have to find K is to P. So let's see. 3K plus P is equal to 9K minus 3P. So if you change sides, so 4P is equal to 6K. So K by P is equal to 4 by 6 is equal to 2 by 3. 2 is to 3. So this was a pattern of questions. So we will see the remaining pattern of questions in next lecture.